What is up, everybody? So this week's deck is Sultai Walkers. It's a little bit Planeswalkers and Sultai Control and just Sultai good stuff. But yeah, let's go and jump into the Planeswalkers. So that's going to be the nitty gritty of it. So I'm going to cover the Planeswalkers and then I'll jump into the support spells behind them. So let's start at the 3-drop. So the first Planeswalker we have is Liliana, the Last Hope. Excuse me. With Liliana, what we're looking to get into is use her early to start minusing against our opponent's creatures, and then get into her ultimate, where we get into a bunch of zombies. And it's really, if you can get down Liliana and you have some Abrupt Decay or go for the Throat back up, it's not that hard to get to her ultimate and get down a bunch of Planeswalker, get down a bunch of zombies. So that's the game plan with Liliana. Now on to the next 3-drop, we have Nyssa, Voice of Zendikar. Nyssa gives you a nice support in here. So our +1 gives you a 0/1 plant token. So Nyssa is going to allow you to get that plant token out to basically get you a chump blocker and to get into some of our bigger planeswalkers to get to their ultimates. Because what you're trying to do with the deck is get to some type of planeswalker ultimate, whether it's Kiora or Raska, and close the game out that way. And Nyssa is really good in the deck in regards to that because you get the +1 plant token, and if you happen to get into some Guruk Wildspeaker action, you can start putting counters on those and then get the Guruk Trample effect to kind of close it out that way. The next 3-drop planeswalker that we have is Ashe Hawk. It's really slow and drawn out, but you can definitely win the game by milling our opponent out with Ashe Hawk. Let's say you get to the point to where you can kind of lock the game out with Kiora, maybe you plus one of their big creatures, so it's going to get fogged out. You can definitely win the game with Ashe Hawk, milling them out. It's going to take a while. You can use her minus ability, and the good thing about Ashe Hawk is she starts at 3. When you plus her to 2, she goes to 5, so she kind of stays out of bolt range or any type of aggro range. But yeah, in one of my videos, I plus to Ashe Hawk and got a Platinum Angel out, so it's definitely good in there. It provides a nice little threat, and her starting, her +2 with her base of 3 is real, or his or her. We don't know what gender Ashe Hawk is, so his or her starting at 3 with the +2 is really nice. So let's move on to the 4-drops. So we have Guruk Wildspeaker. Guruk Wildspeaker is in here mainly just to allow us to kind of untap some of our lands and get in a little bit extra mana. Also, we can get into some 3/3 beast tokens. Get them on, and the 3/3 beast tokens kind of act as the same way as Nyssa, Voice of Zendikar, getting down some tokens just to provide as blockers. And you can also, once we get Guruk pumped up to 4, or if we can, if we start plussing up with his +1s and we can use his minus trample ability, you can give all of your beast tokens and your plant tokens a nice little trample effect. Or if you get into some Vraska action off that too. Now on to Kiora. Kiora's a little different. +1, she only goes to 3, so she kind of gets into that bolt range where you got to watch out there. But getting to her ultimate's really not that hard, and her ultimate is basically get into some, at the end of your instep, put a 9/9 blue Kraken token onto the battlefield. So if you get doubling season out there, you get into 2 9/9 Kraken. So it's really not that hard to get into her ultimate. If you're playing against a red matchup where you have to watch out for Lightning Bolt, you do have to watch out for her dying as soon as you get on the battlefield. But once you can get past that, her plus ability is really good at blocking, either tapping it, not tapping, but choosing one of their main lands or one of their big creatures just to kind of fog it out, and then do cleanup duty with a Wildspeaker and his beast tokens, or Nyssa, Voice of Zendikar, just to provide some chump blockers. On to the 5-drop, and that's Raska. Oh man, Raska was the first card that when I got into Magic during Return to Ravnica, and she was the first card that I spent money on, and I don't know, she has a very special place in my heart, and to be honest, man, her minus ability, you're looking at ticking her up twice, and then you get into the put 3/1 black assassin tokens onto the battlefield. And if we have doubling season down, once we get down Vraska, you can just minus her right there and get 6/1/1 assassin. So she's pretty much the real deal. Very good in here. And then her -3 ability, destroy target non-land permanent, is really good if you need to pop something and then still maybe go for a Kiora ultimate. So that's kind of what we're going for, is the planeswalker control aspect. Now as far as these, we do have doubling season in here. And doubling season, a lot of our planeswalkers are 4 and 3 drops. So by the time we get doubling season out, it may be a little bit too late by the time we get to 5 mana, but it's still nice to go and run 2 of them in there. You can maybe run 3 if you wanted to, but 2's, it's a nice spot. It's a little bit more of a win more card, but in a good way. It's good to get into that. Now, as far as the support cards, we do have Cryptic Command. Basic tap our opponent's creatures, draw a card. We have Painful Truce to get into a little bit more, if we need to get a little bit more card draw action. We could run Dark Confidant in this slot, but with a bunch of 4-drops and 5-drops, don't really want to, so I opted to run for the Painful Truce. And as far as our support package, got Mana Leak, just your standard counter spell. Running 3 remands. That way we can get into card draw and counter whatever our opponents do. It's kind of act like a little bit of a time walk type effect. We have 2 Snapcasters. If we get some stuff into the graveyard, we can snap it back with Snapcaster. And also we can hit Snapcaster off Oath of Nyssa. We have Go for the Throat, and then we have 3 Abrupt Decays. We're also running 3 Oath of Nyssa. So we are playing Sultai, so it's not like we absolutely need the Oath of Nyssa effect to play all of our Planeswalkers, but it is nice to have that if you get into spots where you don't have Urborg out and you're trying to get a Liliana out or something like that. It also allows us to dig for a Planeswalker, creature, or a land, so we can get into some quick Birds of Paradise action or dig for a Snapcaster off Oath of Nyssa. And we're also running 4 Birds of Paradise. Really, really important that you Birds of Paradise is really good in the deck. You're looking for it in your opening hand because it allows you to get down a quick Liliana, Nyssa, Ashe Hawk, because we're trying to get to an ultimate for this Planeswalker deck. Now, as far as anything else in here, mana base is pretty standard. We've got Breeding Pool, Creeping Tar Pit, and let's scroll down a little bit so you can see what's going on. Water Grave, standard fetch land, so nothing too crazy over there. Now, as far as our sideboard goes, we have Remand and Mana Leak, so we have Dispel to bring in against Infect or Burn, anything like that. Hit some counter spells. We're not running any discard in the main board, so we've got 2 Thoughtseizes over here. We have a Nature's Claim, Graph Digger if we get into some dredge action. Golgari Charm, really good in the deck. Just blasting a bunch of 1/1 creatures feels really good, and it kind of helps just kind of stabilize. Golgari Charm's really nice. Got an extra removal and Go for the Throat, and then 2 negates. Once again, if you're playing against Tron or something where you need to kind of counter some bigger stuff. We also have Dismember, Damnation, standard board wipe, and we got the Baloth in there just in case we get into the Jund matchup where they're running the Liliana of the Veil. So if they go to counter, you can also run the Baloth for if you're playing against Burn or something like that to kind of help you stabilize, because you gain 4 and then enters the battlefield, you have a 4/4 body. But yeah, this is the deck in a nutshell. It's a lot of fun. There's room for improvement in here, definitely. But I've enjoyed playing with it, and getting it into it's basically your win condition is getting into Planeswalker Ultimates, and so that's always fun. And I love playing Sultai. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the deck tech. I have 5 videos posted up, so if you want to check them out, head over there. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.